It does not require, very noticeably doesn't require a looking for it. It's just a simple noticing. It's already there. It's already here. I was reflecting on the one-pointed thing that, so as I experienced it, again, this was many years ago, so yeah, so the details aren't super clear, but the experience of it is still obvious. And it was like, I just noticed there was something, and it was something I felt like I had overlooked for years somehow, maybe my whole life. But all of a sudden I couldn't overlook it. It was just there. And every time I noticed it, it was there. It's not like I had to keep attention on it 100% of the time. It was just every time I noticed it was there, and it was like, oh, that's interesting. And it was sort of not really like, wasn't in a visual sense. It wasn't like I saw something. It wasn't like I heard something specific. It was kind of like not in any of the senses, but it wasn't really, it wasn't an imagination. It was sort of more real than all of that. It had a I don't know, like a salience to it, and it felt like every time I looked, it was there. It was whether I was working or walking or meditating, and I guess when I was meditating, it was like more constant because there was no distraction or whatever. But I just couldn't ignore it anymore, and then it went from being like kind of interesting, or like, wow, that's interesting, and I didn't really, there was nothing that was like trying to figure it out. I knew what it was in a way. I knew there was nothing to figure out about it. It was just compelling because it was intimate. I'll say it that way. It was intimate, and so I just kept my attention with it. And the funny thing is I trusted it so much because everything else I had trusted didn't really work out. All the other things I had trusted in life didn't really work out, right? They maybe worked out a little bit, but they also always had a downside. Everything we attach to has a upside and a downside, right? It has it comes and then it goes, and we grasp it and then we lose it. But this wasn't that kind of thing. It just didn't have those qualities of like unreliability, perhaps. So there was something I just trusted about it. And then it became rather joyful, like it was the only thing I wanted to pay attention to anymore. Yeah, it was kind of like that kind of a cascade. And I don't know how long it lasted. It wasn't that long, a few days maybe longer. It's hard to remember the details of that, but it does not require, very noticeably doesn't require a looking for it. It's just a simple noticing. It's already there. It's already here. So maybe the salient aspect of it is that you don't have to figure it out. It's just so obvious that there's no thing to think about. You don't have to go, is it this or that? Is it this color or that color? Is it here or there? Those questions just do not arise about this because it's too simple and obvious, perhaps.